on to our next film. It's called Tag.
Yes.
A very interesting premise in the film, and you wouldn't believe this is actually based on a true story. This stars Ed Helms, the Hangover guy, John Hamm, everyone knows him, and Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye.
This is where he was during Infinity War, man.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what he was doing in between Infinity War when he wasn't invited.
Sorry guys, I'm busy.
He had his wedding and he had needed to play a game of tag. So the film, this is true story. The film actually follows these friends playing a game of tag every year in the month of May, and they've been doing it since they were in high school, and they're now old people.
They're like in their late 30s, doing jobs and
doing real world job and getting married,
Yeah.
and they have to play the game. And there is this guy, Jeremy Renner, their friend, who's untouchable. This
Literally
year,
untouchable, they can't.
yeah, this year he's getting married, and the friends come together to think finally they can touch him and say, "You're it."
Yeah, we know where you are now. There's no way.
Yes, exactly.
This.
So I haven't watched the film, but Abu has, so he'll take the lead on this. Abu, why don't you give us your take?
Yeah, okay. Firstly, this movie seems stupid, but only works because it's based on a real story, to be honest. Because if it wasn't based on a real story, you'd be like, where the heck did they come up with this idea? But the fact that it's actually based on something does give it that bit of like realism in a sense. Like, oh, okay, let me see where this goes. Because if they just came out of this out of nowhere, I'd be like, sounds dumb.
One of those Adam Sandler films.
Exactly, like flick. But no, it actually works really. I think that realism gives it that sense of interest and saying, oh, okay, fair enough. The film is actually pretty funny. Like, it is my kind of humor. Ed Helms does his Ed Helms shtick, like in The Office, in The Hangover. He's the same. I kind of.
So this is a comedy
pure,
action.
This is a pure comedy. There's a bit of action in it. Like the Jeremy Renner scenes are pretty action heavy.
Oh, okay.
But you know, John Hamm's great. Like he's kind of old enough to be the dad of the group. But it works.
John Hamm.
Yeah, like because the other guys are like in the young 30s. So you
I
can't
think of him as like the lady killer, that kind of guy.
No, but he's a bit older. I think he's a bit older than the rest of the group. Like,
he is a bit older.
Yeah. In fact, would they really be hanging with this guy? He seems like.
Right.
So this guy called Hannibal is a comedian as well. He does a great role. He's an American guy. Every line he drops in is just like so hilarious. He's like there's always that one character who's a bit like, let's say, off canter mentally. Like Zach Galifianakis' character in
Or Steve Carell.
It's just a bit weird. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's the one who just drops these random lines like people. There's one scene was like, let's synchronize our watches, and like, one goes, I don't have a watch. Then he's like, time is just a constant to me, or something random and stupid like that. Like such a weird thing to say. But he does a lot of one-liners throughout the movie, which is great. Jeremy Renner's character is actually where the film really stands out because firstly you're thinking, why is this guy so untouchable? Let me see how good he is. Yeah. Right? So when they do bring his character in, I'm not sure how much of it is just made up for the film and how much of it's true.
The actual story.
Yeah, I think a lot of his scenes they're very like dramaticized just for the entertainment. Like he's like, you know, in The Equalizer when he sees everything in slow motion, he can just calculate. Like
right.
Like, yeah, I can see that.
It's his Avengers training.
Yeah, he's kind of got like saying, this guy's running at me like this. If I do this, he can't touch me, and like he just like sees everything like a like in slow motion.
Sounds like the Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. It's like all five guys running at him. He's like, I can do this. And he just never sweats. He just dodges everything with grace.
Damn.
Yeah. So like, it seems a bit ridiculous at the same time, but in the tone of the movie, it kind of works because the movie is over the top and it's based on a really stupid premise.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of gives the idea. Okay, we can see why he's so untouchable, but at the same time, it's like, was he really that untouchable in real life? I need some.
I don't think it matters though, does it?
Well, it does.
As long as it's funny and
but
it's a
in
good
some
film.
scenes, he's like he's you know, hired his own like private little mercenary team to set up traps in the forest and like all this. Like, it gets really like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, did he really do all this stuff? Like he set up his own replica basement of their houses and stuff. I think, okay, was he this paranoid about this? Because I highly doubt it. But it kind of gives it a bit of a...
these guys have too much time in their hands because I can't get that done during my work life.
Yeah. So on the negative side of things, what do I have here? Like I said, it's easy to tell what parts are made up. You know, it's based off a true story, but I can tell some of it's very heavy. Like when he randomly jumps out of a window and lands perfectly and runs away to his like model wife. I'm like, that didn't happen in real life. I highly doubt.
If you take the real life, like based on a true story thing out of it, how would you? I
think it would be such a stupid film if they just create this idea out of thin air. Well, this is just a stupid idea.
Right. And that's why for you it's quite important that this film was based on real life.
Of course, okay, fair enough. I can see why they've done it because actually, and at the end they do show some like video clips of the actual game happening. So,
oh right.
Yeah, and also like I said, Jerry, what they WTF, are you a ninja? Like it kind of like gets a bit too ridiculous sometimes. The ending is also very serious and dark. I'm like, whoa, that really caught me off guard. I did not.
Serious and dark. All right, don't spoil it anymore. I think that's as far as you go.
That's what I'm saying. What? I did not expect this.
Right.
So it kind of caught me very off guard at that moment. It kind of gets very intense. I'm like, wow, how did this movie get suddenly really intense?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's a bad thing, but it just kind of really catches you off guard and the whole sense of the film was going. There's never really any build up or anything in the background to say this could be happening. This happens at the end, the final 10 minutes. Like, oh, okay, he's gonna throw that in, are you?
All right, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, before I say anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, like Ed Helms, I did say he is a funny guy, but also he does pretty much play the same geeky, insecure kind of guy, who's just married to a woman who's just way more powerful than him and just bosses him around. Like, okay, I've seen this shtick in every other movie.
In every film
he's like some beta male, like being dominated by his wife, and he gets bullied. I'm like, come on, man, I've seen you do this role in every film. Yeah.
I actually feel for these guys because once you get a name of someone who plays like that, you get typecast, and I'm sure Margot Robbie's getting typecast in the same way as these guys.
She's trying her best to get out of that, to be honest. So, but yeah, and I think overall it's a fairly entertaining movie, but it is just a film you'd go and watch. Oh, I had fun. Some of the jokes might offend you. They do have some offensive jokes, to be honest. There is one particular joke which is very it could be untasteful. Is that the word? Yeah.
Distasteful.
Distasteful, untasteful. There is one particular joke which is a bit distasteful. You might be offended by it, but I'm not really offended by much, to be honest. I know
like race-based or...
I don't want to really go into
it.
But it does get a bit uncomfortable, if you did suffer this scenario yourself, you'll be a bit...
Right, okay.
Yeah, but it's a type of movie where I'd expect that kind of stuff in it. Like, okay, it's like a...
It's a film with like mates banter, doing banter,
exactly, all that drugs, all that stuff. So you kind of know.
Yeah, if anyone recorded what I say to my friends, I'm sure people will think I'm very distasteful anyway.
I'm pretty sure we'll be off the air, man.
Yes, exactly. It can't be on the air.
But it's a decent movie to go watch. You'll have fun if you like that kind of stuff. The cast is fun. Jeremy Renner's a blast, and he's clearly having a lot of fun, just being some wacky, crazy guy. Yeah. So they never do explain what he is. Like, what's his job? Is he a model? Is he an actor? Is he an agent? We just expect he's some unholy figure, which is just like, is really good at everything. He's got the looks, he's got the wife, he's got the body, he's got like the personality.
It's just Jeremy Renner in real life.
I'm like, what does Jerry's his name? Like, what do you do though in this film? What is your job? You're just successful in every way, but you never explain it.
Some people are like that,
Yeah, so it's a movie, you can go watch it with your mates, have a bit of laugh, and forget about it as soon as you
How will you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll put what's the average? Is it a 5 is an average or is it a 6? I don't know.
Up to
5
you.
sounds bad. I'll give it a 6. It's a perfectly disposable movie.
All right, that's much worse than I was thinking it was going to be. I thought at least 7.
No, it's not a 7. I don't think it's not like...
Even in terms of comedy films, it's not a 7.
Game Night, which came out in the year, that was an amazing... I think one of my films of the year so far. That's how you do a comedy movie. Like
that is your game... Not A Quiet Place.
My comedy, like
comedy.
Yeah, not film. No, I wouldn't say that. Yeah. But that's like my fun. I think that the comedy of the year is definitely Game Night, and that's how a film should be.
Okay.
Here, I think it just kind of because the humor is pretty like lame, crude at times. But Game Night kind of goes a bit meta and does these jokes outside. Exactly. We got to think about it. Like, oh damn, I just got it. But this one kind of relies on the same usual weed kind of joke.
Okay.
That's it's a 6, and it's fun. You watch it, you forget about it. You won't be offended. You'll just cool.
Okay. Well, at least the film is out in cinemas. If you want to go watch it, you can definitely watch it. In fact, all the films we discussed are recent films, so they are out in cinema.
Yeah.
If you take our recommendation, Sicario, definitely watch. Terminal, maybe not.
I think all the movies this week have been a bit... it's like, apart from Terminal, it sounds like a bit of that was like a disaster, but the rest...
Yeah, I wouldn't say Terminal is one you should spend
I think all these movies critically, they're like in the mids, just there.
It's just one of those weeks where you don't have the best come out.
Yeah, because Incredibles comes out next week. Is it next week? And that's just on the Demolish, I think.
Oh yeah, Incredibles is next week. Yeah.
Incredibles is next week, and there is another movie. Is it Skyscraper? Another big blockbuster.
Oh, the Dwayne Johnson.
The Die Hard remake, I'm going to call it.
He doesn't even have legs, but he can jump like 50 feet in the air.
I think it's like a Die Hard remake, and it's also one of the movie. Oh, that's American. Ant-Man came out in America, and now we get it 6 weeks later.
Of course, yeah.
Like, I have to avoid all the spoilers now. Like, I don't read anything online about Ant-Man.
Ah,
6 weeks is a long time to avoid.
6 weeks is a long time.
Because you go in any YouTube video, someone will just spoil it right there.
You wanna buy a ticket to the US? Let's go.
Nah, it's
Watch.
not worth it, man.
Not worth it.
It's not Avengers, man. It's Ant-Man.
That is true.
I'll survive 6 weeks.
All right then, folks. That's it from us today. Mo.